welcome to the final episode of Season 1 of Talk with EMAS by English Massive. English Massive is a free English course program provided by the Kediri government for Kediri citizens. And Talk with EMAS is one of our programs for our participants, in this case, for Advanced 2 participants. My name is Cindy and I will be the host for this episode. So without any further ado, let's get started.
EMAS Podcast. Talk with EMAS.
Alright, welcome everyone to our podcast. This is a very special episode because not only it remarks the end of our season 1 of Talk with EMAS, and also because today we are going to discuss with the people behind every episode of Talk with EMAS. Alright, I'm not alone today. I'm bringing some special guests in this episode. You guys might already know them from the previous episode of Talk with EMAS as the host, but today they're going to be the star of the show. Let's say hi to Miss Enti. Hi, Miss Enti.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, and also Miss Alvin.
Hello.
Miss Leah.
Hello, guys.
And also Mr. Rudin.
Yeah, hello everyone. Hi, Miss Cindy.
Hi, Okay, before we start our discussion, can you guys introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe started from Miss Enti.
Thank you, Miss Cindy. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. So, my name is Enti. I'm working for English Massive. I'm helping to develop the content and the curriculum. I've been working for English Massive since 2018, and perhaps you've heard one of the podcasts that I did with Miss Alvin last year. The topic was communication. So nice to be here. Thank you.
Alright, thank you so much, Miss Enti. And next, Miss Alvin, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, alright, thank you, Miss Cindy. Hello, everyone. I'm Miss Alvin, and I'm sure you're familiar with me. I'm a tutor in English Massive, and I'm teaching the Advanced 2 participants. So, hi. So, nice to meet you again.
Yeah, nice to meet you again, Miss Alvin. And the next one, Miss Leah.
Okay, thank you, Miss Cindy. Hello, everyone. I'm Miss Leah, and I'm the tutor of English Massive. I have an opportunity to teach Advanced 2 in this session. Okay, nice to see you all.
Nice to see you too, Miss Leah. And the next one, Mr. Rudin, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, my name is Ana Usuluddin and I'm one of the tutor for Post Advance.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Rudin, for the introduction.
Alright, now it's your turn, Miss Cindy. You may introduce yourself to our audiences in the podcast.
Well, hi everyone. You already know my name, I'm Cindy, and I'm also the tutor in English Massive program. I'm also working as the academic program consultant, so basically I'm helping Miss Sandy with the academic program in English Massive. But today I'm going to be your host in this episode. Alright everyone, let's get started to discuss about the story behind Talk with EMAS. So let me start with asking to Miss Enti. Hi, Miss Enti.
Hello.
So could you tell us more about Talk with EMAS? What is it about and how did it start?
Sure, Miss Cindy. So, I believe Talk with EMAS, this podcast, started last year when we had a new term in the beginning of 2021. So we had this meeting with the curriculum team. You were there, Miss Alvin was there,
Yeah.
and Miss Leah and Mr. Rudin were also there. And we're thinking of what comes next after advanced level, because with the old curriculum we only have 3 levels for young adult and adult, and we already have some participants finishing their highest level at advanced level. So we're thinking what comes next. Like, it's the most difficult job as a person who's in charge of curriculum and developing curriculum, right? So I'm thinking that the perfect format for the post-advanced, that's what we call the class last year, is for the participant to speak English much more than the other levels. So the format of podcast could be the perfect for this level. So that's what is it about. And the next step is to recruit the tutors, right? At that time we had around 40 tutors last year, and as usual, whenever we have any projects with this program, I always make announcement, and we post the announcement on our WhatsApp group for the tutors, so everyone will have this opportunity to take part in the project. And turns out those tutors who are interested in the projects are just these people that we have today. So thanks God. Okay, so that's pretty much about it.
Yeah. So it's not like we were appointed, but it's us who wants to join in this program, right, Miss? All right. So now let me ask to the tutors, Miss Dian, Mr. Udin, and Miss Alvin. So how do this advanced to or before that, previously we call it post-advanced program, how do you do the class?
Okay, so in the previous session, or we call it post-advanced program, we conducted the class through the online meeting, and we set the schedule for about 2 meetings in a week, and it was conducted on Monday and also Saturday night.
Okay, so that's the schedule, Miss Leah. What about the participant itself and the classroom activity in general?
Okay, there were 5 to 6 participants in each meeting, and we conduct it using Zoom sometimes, and commonly we use Google Meet because it's kind of free platform to use and easy to. And in the last season of Post Advanced, we had 14 topics, and we conducted class with discussions, and also there were some portfolios to support the students to catch up with the topics.
Okay, so it's not only like a lecturing, in the classroom. Okay,
it's more about discussions.
It's more about discussion. Okay. Okay. Now let me ask to Miss Antika again. Can you tell us the reason of this podcast creation? Like, why do we conduct this podcast?
Right. So, if I may say, there are 2 actually main reasons. The first one I mentioned previously, we had some participants who already reached the highest level that we had in the old curriculum, which is the advanced. So we're thinking of something higher than the advanced. And the second reason was probably the format of podcast, in which all participants in the post-advanced or advanced 2 that we call it now should produce a podcast, whether it with their tutors or on their own. So podcast itself, I believe, is a very popular media or type of content that are many language learners use today, because they can access it from their mobile or from their laptop, and it can have either video or just the audio, so it gives some convenience to both the speakers and the listeners. On another note, we should know that even though English is the most widely spoken language in the world, but the fact that most of the speakers of English are non-native speakers. We have 1.5 billion English speakers. 1 billion approximately are non-native speakers. So perhaps we think about, why are you creating content which are produced by non-native speakers? I mean, we encounter conversation with non-native speakers much more than we have it with native speakers, right? So I think everyone, be it native speakers or non-native speakers, have the same right to produce content and to use English language on their own.
Okay, I do agree with that, Miss. And this is also, as you said before, this is also a great platform for the participant to practice their skills and building their confidence. Yeah. Okay. And for everyone here, I believe that this is everyone's first experience making a podcast. So how do you feel? For me myself, I'm pretty nervous actually. I need a lot of preparation doing this especially this season, this episode. What about you guys?
At the first time, I feel nervous too, and also I'm anxious whether I can do it or not, because this is, as you said, that this is the first time I do a podcast recording, and I need a lot of preparation, and sometimes I do some like a trial with my participant, but after that it makes me more anxious about that. Why? Because after I heard the recording, and I must improve in this part, and after that we do the second trial, and I'm still not perfect enough, and like that's why.
Okay, I do get that anxious every time.
Yeah.
What about you, Miss Alvin?
Yeah, I feel nervous too, as you and Miss Leah, but I'm also excited to do the podcast and to teach the students. And this is my very first experience recording a podcast and publish that in YouTube channel and also Spotify. And I'm so anxious with that. Do I speak well, or is my grammar correct? And some stuff like that. But I enjoy it a lot, especially when we discuss in the class and we find a new idea, and make them or convert the idea into the podcast. I really like that.
Okay, I think I feel the same with Miss Leah and also myself when I was nervous, because it was my beginning conducting this kind of. I was recording the podcast in the second or third
Episode?
third episode, third episode, and I think it needed a lot of preparations, because my participant, I was with Mala at that time, and Mala also felt anxious too, and we were recording the first podcast for about 2 hours.
2 hours, wow, that's
we
long.
start at 10 and we finish before Zuhur.
Wow.
Because it feels like, why my voice was kind of
Weird.
Yeah,
I do feel that too.
Yeah. And we did recording more in the opening and the closing, because it's kind of we have to be like more engaging when we open the podcast, and my voice was not engaging at all at the time.
Yeah, because none of us is having like a background from like a recording or like a media stuff, so that's agreeable, I think.
Actually, sometimes I record some videos for my participants, teaching them, but I never publish that in YouTube or Spotify, so
It's only for your participants.
Yeah, only for my participants in the class, because that was online class and I have to give them like some medias or sources for them to learn. So
But this is like a for everyone.
Yeah,
in the
this is for
internet.
everyone in the internet. Everyone can access that.
But for me myself, if I may add, like without my face showing in the podcast, like I feel some kind of, I'm more confident just showing my face rather than showing my face. Okay, and Miss Leah previously said that she needs some preparation before making the podcast. What about everyone here? Like, do you guys need like some kind of special preparation before you recording the podcast?
Of course we did. We did a lot of preparation to make that podcast. And at first, in the meetings, I always ask my participants who is in charge for the podcast to prepare the topics and to find some new ideas. And I ask them to tell me about their ideas so that we can, specify the topic according to them, to their knowledge. And then after that, we will make the draft. We make the draft like a list of questions. And then after making the draft, I sometimes revise that with my participants. Do you have any other idea to put in the question list? Or is there any question that you don't know or that you're not familiar with? And then after that, and sometimes I also ask the rehearsal before we're recording, via Zoom or maybe Google Meet, so that we know how will the podcast run. And after that, we will just finish the recording and go to the production stuff.
Yeah, okay. What about anyone?
Okay, I think same with Miss Alvin. I created a draft with my participant, and before do the podcast, we always have a special preparation that is called reading the script. So we read the script together and we check the pronunciation and also the structure of the sentences, and after that we can improve which part that is not good enough to be published or something like that.
Well, you do it like Hollywood actors, Miss Leah.
Right.
You know, before they start shooting the movie, then all actors and actresses will sit together and read the dialogues. They call it table reading. So that's pretty cool.
Miss Cindy, we have a question for you. Since you working with production, do you have the biggest challenge when you doing or you conducting the production of this podcast?
So almost everything already done by the tutors, like they record the podcast and editing out, maybe cutting some pieces or cutting some section that need to be cut out. I only do the finishing touch, like adding the jingle, adding some intros, and also pretty much all about the details. So I'm the last stop, if you can say. I'm the last stop for everyone. I'm doing the final check and I'm also publishing it. Maybe the hardest part is the work involves a lot of details, so I need to be meticulous and like looking something that maybe everyone cannot see or left out. So that's it.
How long does it take to finish one episode, Miss Cindy?
Well, it depends on my mood, basically. But if it needs just a little bit of touch, I can do it in one day, and the podcast is ready to be published.
Oh, that's great.
That's very cool.
And let me ask you again, guys. Do you have any favorite episode or memorable moment during the recording with your participants?
Sure, I do. Can I go first?
Sure.
I'm a qualitative kind of person, but now I'm going to go with the statistics. If you go to our EMAS Massive YouTube channel, then you will scroll through the podcast that we have posted there. Then you will see that 2 episodes with most views are first communication with 164 views and identity with 158. So those 2 are my favorites. Well, I love the topics too.
What do you love about that topic?
What I love about my topic that I did with Miss Alvin about communication is because communication is one of the 4 21st century skills, so it's a very essential skills. And what I love about identity is that it's very relatable to everyone. Like identity is fluid. No matter how old you are keep finding yourself. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Keep finding ourselves a new version of ourselves.
Yeah.
Okay. What about everyone else?
For myself, you asked me about the favorite topic. I would answer finance and saving.
Oh, funds and saving. It's all about money.
It's all about money because besides I teach about how to save the money. I also learn how to save the money. So I know some tricks, some tips to control my cash flow and others. And it helped me a lot to be more aware of my financial standing.
I think I have a memorable experience related to podcast recording, and that is about the topic of language. And why? Because I take more than 3 times recording at that time. Because the first time we used one of the platform and it didn't work. We cannot hear our own voice, and after that we try to take it again, and after that, it is same, and finally we have the 3rd recording. fortunately, it worked, so we didn't need to take the record. Okay.
Well, technical issue, yeah.
That's technical issue about the device.
Maybe this is something that not all people aware of when making like this type of content. Like it needs a lot of work. Like it doesn't like we're reading from the script and finish
It
and
happens
done.
like that,
It happens. Some technical issues happen. And Miss Alvin, can you tell us what is your favorite topics from the previous season?
Actually, my previous topic was identity. Because I think when we're talking about identity, we're looking to ourselves and ask ourselves, what do I want to be? What do they want to be? And I think it makes them eager to learn something new, to try to find themselves, to try to find their passion, and I really enjoy teaching them about identity.
Okay, wow, sounds interesting. Okay, so this is the last question for everyone here because we are at the end of season 1. This is the last episode of season 1, and we're going to release the next season, which is season 2, with a new participants and also new topics. What is your hope for Talk with EMAS, guys?
Of course, I hope the best for Talk with EMAS, and I hope we can produce more good and interesting content in our YouTube channel and Spotify. Yeah, that's all.
That's all.
I hope to invite like guests that people know, so that more people would want to listen to our podcast. It's already great, and thank you for the hardworking guys. But it will be greater if we have, perhaps someone that we could invite. Perhaps we can do that in season 2.
In season 2, we do hope so.
Okay, for myself, my hope is like, I hope there will be more participants. So
more participants in the advanced 2 class, you mean?
So if we have more participants in the class, so we have more episodes in the podcast, and the participants will vary in every episode, so we don't get bored with the people.
Yeah. Okay, what about you, Miss Leah?
I think that I agree with Miss Lee. Maybe we can invite some of guest star, or I say the guest stars to have collaboration with our participant and also to motivate them in speaking.
Do you have someone in your mind?
Oh,
in particular?
not yet. Not yet. Maybe I will tell you later if I have.
Okay.
Oh,
maybe.
yeah,
Wow, yeah. Or maybe we can also invite our main.
She's Indonesian, but she speaks English like
very
She's
fluent.
native speaker.
I do know.
I mean, if we invite native speakers, it makes sense that they speak English well because like they are native speakers. But if we invite like Indonesian who can speak English well, that's like wow, right?
Okay, I already said that was the last question, but this time I want you guys to say one word to sum up your experience of making the podcast or about Talk with EMAS. Anyone? Yes, Miss Alvin. She raised her hand.
I think this season was amazing.
Amazing. Good. I do agree.
Extraordinary?
Extraordinary itself, indeed.
For me, it was good.
Good.
Just
Just
good.
good. Oh my god.
Just good? Oh my god. I'll be the last. You first.
Okay,
You first.
so for me, myself, it's rewarding. Yeah.
Nice one.
We wait for the reward, Miss Cindy.
We need reward.
We need reward. Okay, let us do Miss Andy.
All right. Perhaps one word to describe this podcast from me is achieve. Because like both the participants, they have achieved and reached something successfully at a certain point, and also for our team, right? And for English Massive, of course, it's a breakthrough, it's an innovation. So,
Wow. Okay. I everyone. I do enjoy today's episode. Like I do have so much fun talking with you guys about the work behind Talk with EMAS.
Same here.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is the end of our podcast, but don't worry guys, we will still have another episode, new season, new episodes, and also new topics, so stay tuned. And don't forget to follow our social media and also to subscribe our YouTube channel, English Massive Kediri. I'm Cindy, and see you guys in the next episode of Talk with Emma.
Thank you.
Bye.